Is Jesus of Nazareth Jewish? This topic, which used to be common sense, has now become a subject of debate and contention. Although the short answer is yes, Jesus was Jewish, it's a little more complicated than people think. And people get confused because Judaism and Christianity are two separate religions. For one, Judaism does not accept Jesus as the Jewish Messiah, and therefore sees both the religion of Christianity and Jesus as a person as being separate from the religion and the identity of Jews. But how do we know that Jesus of Nazareth is Jewish? Well, it's because he confirms himself that he's Jewish. In John chapter 4, verse 22, when Jesus is talking to the Samaritan woman, he says to her, "You, the Samaritans, do not know what you worship. We, as in the Jews, do know what we worship, for salvation is from the Jews." And also, the Gospels start by documenting the genealogy of Jesus. And Jesus evidently is not only an Israelite, but he's also a member of the tribe of Judah. In the times of Jesus, the tribes of Judah and Benjamin were collectively called Jews. And Jesus therefore was a Judean, and his mother, the Virgin Mary, was Jewish. In addition, the first Christians, the apostles, followers of Jesus, were Jews as well. And how do we know this? They say it themselves. For example, Paul, in the book of Acts, chapter 22, literally says, "I myself am a Jew," as he was addressing a crowd speaking in the Aramaic language. What then is the point of contention? Well, Jesus was not a Talmudic Jew. Jesus was a Jew, but the Judaism that he came from and was practicing was known as Temple Judaism, whereas the Judaism of today is a religion that developed and crystallized following the destruction of the Second Temple, and therefore it is called Rabbinic Judaism. It does not have a priesthood, it has rabbis. Now, what are the differences between Temple Judaism and post-Temple Judaism, or Talmudic Rabbinic Judaism? Temple Judaism was centered around the temple in Jerusalem. It had animal sacrifice. Talmudic Judaism is based on the Talmud, which is a collection of oral law. Temple Judaism had rituals. The primary ritual was animal sacrifice, which was considered to be a way to offer purification and life energy to God. The temple was the center of worship, and the temple priests taught the Torah. The temple was destroyed in 70 AD. This happened decades after the crucifixion of Jesus. What about Talmudic Judaism? Talmudic or Rabbinic Judaism centered on the Talmud, which is a collection of oral law. Note that Talmudic or Rabbinic Judaism began in the 2nd century after the destruction of the temple. The Temple Judaism of the times of Jesus had a priesthood. The priests were Levites. They were from the tribe of Levi. Jesus, considered the Jewish Messiah by his Jewish followers, started Christianity as a continuation of Judaism or Temple Judaism in the context of Christianity, of course, and he founded a new priesthood. And in Christianity, Jesus is viewed as both a king and a priest. His priesthood is from the order of Melchizedek, which in Christianity is viewed as a greater or higher order than the Levitical order. But Jesus, also being from the tribe of Judah and a descendant of King David, he's also the anointed king, the Messiah, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, the seed of David. So what really needs to be understood here is that during the times of Jesus, there were 4 main sects or groups of Jews: the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Essenes, and the Zealots. So Christianity is, or was at the time, a 5th sect of Jews. Christianity developed as a new sect of Judaism. And what made it fundamentally different from the other sects of Jews is that it became a worldwide religion that was inclusive of Gentiles and not just Jews. Although it started out as a Jewish sect, it became a universal church, and primarily a church of the Gentiles, because the majority of the Jews did not accept Jesus as their Messiah. So what does that mean? Jesus is evidently Jewish, but he's not a Talmudic Jew. Jesus cannot be said to be Jewish in the context of Talmudic or Rabbinic Judaism. Jesus and his first followers, the apostles, they were a separate Jewish sect. They separated themselves from the Pharisees. And Christianity developed in its own way, with its own trajectory, whereas Pharisaic Judaism, or the Judaism of the Pharisees, later developed into Rabbinic and Talmudic Judaism. So is Jesus Jewish? Yes, of course he is, but he is not a part of Rabbinic Judaism. He is the founder of Christianity, which separated itself from Pharisaic or Rabbinic Judaism. If you'd like to know more about ancient Christianity, the mystical theology of early Christianity, and its connection to ancient Judaism, read my book, Reason and the Sacred and Ethiopian Metaphysics. You can find the book on Amazon. Thank you. See you again.